All right. Hi. So I figured I'd just start with a lesson on tuning the guitar for the guitarists, because obviously a few of you weren't there the other day on Monday. So if you were there the other day, then you can listen anyway and get even better at it. But if you weren't, this will be very important, I guess, for you to, unless one of your parents already knows how to tune a guitar, because obviously if your guitar is not tuned for 4 weeks or however long this goes on for, it's not going to sound very good, and it's probably going to be less fun practicing. So before you can start tuning the guitar, you need to know each of the strings actually has a name. So I know we've done some picking, we've done some chords, but each of the strings actually has its own name. So we'll just take a moment to go through what the names of the strings are. If you want to turn to page 10 in your book, it looks a little bit like this, and this is probably going to be awkward because it says everything backwards, so it's like Ruoi, Dnif, Your, instead of find your way. But if you can kind of understand what I'm talking about here. So we're looking at the bottom bit here. So here it says you've got a couple of options there. I'm going to focus on the middle one, which is personally my favorite, which is Eddie 8 Dynamite. Good by Eddie. A little violent, but if you don't like violence, the bottom one's pretty violent too, actually. Every afternoon, Dad's gas barbecue explodes. The top one's not so violent. Elephants and donkeys grow big ears, but I find with that one you might get confused. Is it donkeys and elephants grow big ears, or what is it? So I like the middle one. Eddie ate dynamite. Goodbye, Eddie. Moral of the story there, I guess, is don't eat dynamite. So basically, you might be going, what the heck is she talking about? What's that got to do with anything? Let me tell you. This is what it's got to do. Each of these strings has a name that's basically the first letter of the words. Okay, so the first Eddie is the E string. This one here. So that's called the E string because Eddie starts with E. This is 8. Dynamite. Good by Eddie. Okay, so if I asked you, by the way, if it helps you to learn this stuff with videos, of course, you can pause at any time and you can take your time, trying to figure it out yourself, or get your parent or somebody around you to help if you need to. That's, I guess, the benefit of video and the lesson. Of course, you can't pause me in the middle of my talking. You just have to listen and then ask questions. So yeah, so basically I would just go through that again. So that's E for Eddie, A, the A string for 8, the D string, dynamite, G string, good, B string, by, E string, Eddie again. So if I asked you to play on your guitar the D string, where is that? Can you do that now? Good. Or bad, I don't know because I'm not there with you, but you either got it or you didn't. So it's Eddie 8 dynamite. So it should be the third one, like starting from the one nearest the ceiling. So that's the D string. Can you find the B string on your guitar? Yeah, it should be the second one to the one closest to the floor. Okay, so this one here. So Eddie 8 dynamite, good, bye. Okay, so you can test yourself on the other ones as well. So those are basically the names of the strings that you'll need to know when you tune your guitar. Okay, so the app that I have recommended, which I normally actually use like a little clip-on tuner. So if you've got one of those, by all means use that. That'll probably be easier. And also the benefit of the clip-on tuner is it doesn't matter if there's other noise in the room because it picks up the vibrations. But the app that I'm recommending is called Fender Tune. Looks like that, except it's around the right way. It's called Fender Tune. So you click on it once you've downloaded it. And it comes up, it doesn't always do that. It comes up with this screen and you click auto at the top, which I did by mistake. And then it comes up with this kind of thing. All right, so And here are all the letters we just talked about. Eddie, 8, dynamite, good, bye, Eddie. So you basically play the strings one at a time, just making sure that you're only playing one string. If you're playing a couple of strings by mistake, it's not gonna work very well because it will get very confused. Oh, I got a message. That's lovely. It's very lovely. Okay. So yeah. So once you play, try to do this and show you everything. So if I play this E string, this little handy dandy thing should, I mean, this is a free version. If you want to buy the pro version, it's probably better. But if you, if I play the E string, A, it says E. So it's a good start. So it comes up with a big letter E in the middle, which is a good sign. It tells you that your string's not really out of tune. If it's really out, it's just for fun, okay? If this was like, okay, so now the E string is so out of tune that it just showed me A before. D, G. Okay, it's very confused because it's super out of tune. So let's take it back. So you want to check that it's the right one that you're tuning. Okay. So play the E. Let's see. So it's not always it does the right one, but okay. So then it'll come up with a yellow circle. The yellow circle might be on one side or the other. You want to get it in the middle, and ideally it turns green and does this kind of timey thing, and then it goes, not that sound. It does some kind of sound that's quite satisfying. I agreed with some of you the other day that, gosh, that's really satisfying when it does that. So yeah, sometimes it will say too flat, tune up. Sometimes it will say too sharp, tune down. Now flat means it's too low. Sharp means it's too high. So probably the easier part to look at is the second part where it says tune down or tune up. So so whatever string you're tuning, you need to follow it along. So this is the E string, right? So if I need to turn one of these tuning pegs, but you need to make sure you tune the right one, otherwise you might get it more out of tune than it actually was. So if I play this, I need to follow this along with my finger, and you can see what tuning peg it's attached to. So with the E string, it's that very first one on top. So if I apply that, now I'm not sure if I'll be able to show you and play and tune, probably not. I don't have that many hands, but okay, so, oh, it almost did that green thing. Okay, so it says, don't think it works if I'm talking at the same time, so hold on. Too flat, tune up, didn't it? So it said too flat, tune up. So I find it best, it's good if you do like a long, like some people do this, and it doesn't really work so well. And you also want to keep it going so it keeps it here, so the tuner keeps hearing it. So if I do this a few times, I think it's too far away, goodness me. Oh, now it says too sharp, tune down. Oh, that's beautiful. That was so satisfying. I'll see if it does it again. That's frustrating. Sometimes it says it's in tune and then it changes its mind. Ah, okay. This was working the other day, seriously, and I find it is pretty good, but it is pretty fussy. So I bet it'll do it as soon as I'm not showing you. Anyway, so if you want to, like I said, pay money for it, it's probably going to be a better version. But honestly, even if it doesn't do the perfect green thing with the doo-doo, with that sound, it's as long as the circle's pretty much in the middle, maybe it flashes green, that should be like in tune enough to go with. I'll let you know if I find a better app, but this one, despite the problems we're just having now, is generally, from my experience, okay. So then you do the same thing with all of the strings, right? Checking that they're saying the correct letter. So the second one should be A, because Eddie ate. Okay, so here my one says perfect. It did the green thing straight away. So that's good. Then the D string. Oh my gosh, it's working like magic now. Do you love that sound? I love that sound. Okay, so yeah, you just go through all of the strings, making sure it says the right letter. If it says the wrong letter, that's actually a bit tricky. So you can turn it a big amount, because normally, oops, your guitar shouldn't normally get so out of tune that it says the wrong letter. It should generally say, like if you're trying to tune the E string, it should generally say E. If it says, in which case you should only move the tuning peg, like I would say like that much. You shouldn't kind of be going around and around. But if it's the wrong letter, you'll need to move it a bit more to try get it to the right one. Be careful that you don't go, like if it says the wrong letter, don't wind it around so much that the string gets really tight and sounds really high, because you don't want to snap your string. But so generally the E should sound the lowest. Well, that's out of tune now. So E, then A, and as you go like towards the floor, which to the highest sounding strings, then they will sound higher. Was basically what I was trying to say. So this should be the lowest sounding one, and then higher, 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 higher. So yeah, basically I can Skype you, or you know, whatever kind of app we end up using for video chat, if your guitar's super out of tune. But if it probably, yeah, like I said, probably won't be. So yeah, see how you go with that, and I hope that helps. So the app is called Fender Tune, and it is free. So yeah, see you in the next video.